Okay, here are the 5 things I love about the new Subaru, if you've seen the 5 things I don't like. First thing I love, if you don't have a Crosstrek, the ground clearance and the car handling capabilities are great. So this thing has the ground clearance of almost an SUV, so you can get up and above a curve easily, but you can still handle like a car. That is just amazing. I love that. I love the ability to be able to drive this thing in different scenarios, in city and in mountain, and it handles like a car and not like an SUV. That is the #1 thing I like about this car. That's basically what it's sold for anyways. It's an all do everything well kind of car, and that's one thing I loved, that ground clearance and the suspension and the shocks. So that's #1 on my list of things that makes this car just a great thing to drive, a great thing for going on weekend trips and also in the city. It does not feel like an SUV. It still handles like a car, yet you have the capabilities of that SUV. Second thing I really love about this car is the infotainment system. This thing is just great. It gives you the capabilities to call. When you plug in your phone, it actually allows you to tap into music and such. So when I plug in, it's gonna actually tap into my iPhone, and it gives me the ability to play GPS, gives me the ability to play on my phone, to do texting. It updates all of your contacts will come through, and it also gives you some Siri functions. So you click that, you'll get Siri. If you hold it, you get Siri. And then you also have abilities, like I said, I have my audiobooks on there, Audible, Amazon Music. So, and then if I want to go back to the radio, just hit home, and I've got my radio, my apps, my settings, phone. It's a great infotainment system. I haven't used one like this before. I know you saw in the negatives. One problem is when you boot the car up, it does take a little bit of time from when you boot the car up to when you actually get to use it, but it's not something I would be super concerned about. So that's another great thing I love about this car. Third thing I like about this car is just the looks. I love how this car looks. I love how it's shaped. I love its design. I love how it's compact, but yet still spacious. It's a great looking car. I get lots of compliments. I love the colors they came out with. I have the baby blue color. It's just a great car to have. And it does everything I want it to do really well. So it's just really cool to have and to be able to do those things. Other things I really like about this car, I love how the seats in the back. My car is so cluttered right now, and I apologize everyone. Like I said, just got back from a little trip. The seats will all fall down, and I've actually slept in this car. I could pull down the seats. You put out a mat or inflatable little mattress, and you could sleep right here, and then it can do it well. And these seats will slide up in the front long enough to get you enough room, so it can do great things for camping if it's just you and a buddy. It does ample room where you guys can haul all your stuff, and it'll allow you to sleep in that car and have room. If you have kids, you know, it'd be getting really tight. You might need the next model, like an Outback or something, or a Forester. I think the Foresters have a little bit more room, but this car is great for that. Fourth thing is just, I love the paddle shifters on this thing. So if you didn't know, these cars are continually variable transmission, CVTs. So you have the normal drive mode, and then you also have manual. So you can just tap it over, and even when you're driving, you can just move it back and forth while you're moving, and then it'll let you switch from drive to manual. And so as you can see, I can switch from first to second. Technically it's not a gear, but that's what it reads it as. And if you're in drive and say you need to get going a little faster, you just hit downshift and it'll give you the extra revs. So it's a fun little thing. If you're just bored, you want to play around a bit with your car, you can play with the gears, and you go around things. Or if you're in the mountains or on the interstate and actually need to use it, you get to use those to pass, and they're really fun. They're really easy to use. They're not difficult to learn kind of how to respond to them. So that's another good thing about this car. The fifth thing, I love this adaptive cruise control and lane departure. So the cameras are actually right here. There's one, and there's the other camera, and they look out and they follow the lanes. So they're looking at your lanes in front of you, and when you drift, they're just gonna pull you back in. So right here, if you just wanna turn on, there's the adaptive lane departure. As you can see, my car comes on, it's in my lane departure, then it's cruise control. There's my cruise control. I can choose how far away I want to be from the car in front of me just by clicking this button. So I want to be further away, I click it. I want to come closer, I click it. And then now when I'm driving, it'll beep at me, beep beep, if I'm going in and suck my car back in. So it'll work really well. It responds very well. It's not dangerous at all. It's not hands-free driving like some of the new commercials for the Cadillacs, but it will honestly be hand-free. You can use your knees on the interstate and you'd feel safe as long as the lines are defined. Now, when the lines get kind of grayed or they're not painted well, or if it's raining, obviously this function's not going to work because the cameras are not going to see the lines well. But it's a great little function. It really does work well. I've never used one this well put together and made. And then the other thing is to say that car was coming at me, they're facing the other way, and I get it too close, it's gonna automatically hit my brakes for me, and it's gonna stop, and it's gonna say object, object and detected. You're gonna hit it. So we can go around and we can go play with it a bit. So those are the 5 things I really like. And also, if you notice, it has a great rear camera. So you can even see my lines. So if I want to go this way or this way, it will tell me where my turn radius is going to be. So if I need to be somewhere, I can just line up my yellow lines to where I want it to be. And it will actually it'll sense cars coming behind me too. So if a car would pull out, it would beep, beep, beep. It would beep me and stop me. And it would warn me if the car is going to be coming in my way. So once we're driving, I don't know if it'll see it or not, but it will it'll respond to my lines on the road. It'll tell me where I'm going as soon as we get out on the road, and it'll be able to keep me in where I need to be. And then if I need to, like I said, if I'm ever texting or you're taking a picture or you fall asleep, it'll give you that nudge and a little alert to make sure that you're safe and you're not falling out of your lanes. So those are the things I really like about it. I know that was a little more than 5 things. If you have any questions, just let me know. The car handles great, like I said. It's fun to drive around in. It's just kind of cruises. It's very comfortable. It does everything well. Nothing great, as I said in my other reviews. So if you have any concerns or questions, let me know, and we'll go from there.